So I'm
Right.
your eyes in the field. Assuming you have a competent investigator in the field, what would you see or like to see that that person could do that you haven't realized before?
I'm working with more and more very, very complex, very sick clients, and a lot of them are in mold and they can't find it. And I think part of that is, like you said, people are just doing ERMIs or air testing, which doesn't catch what they need to find. So I'm finding people sometimes need to do more testing in the home, like actinos or endotoxin. I just learned about a company called Rest for Air that does mycotoxin air testing
Hmm.
and have recommended it and waiting for the results because I can spot when people are in mold because if they're just certain signs and symptoms when you're working with them to heal that they're not improving in the first 30 days or you're not seeing some positive shifts or their nervous system's really dysregulated and it's not calming down, it's very easy to just know that they're still being exposed to something. I wish there was I don't know, I'll see if the Respirair mycotoxin air test is a more perfect test to capture if people are being exposed and inhaling mycotoxins in the air versus like the dust.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with them. We did a class together. So, and I haven't used that, and the reason why is they are having some issues with that on getting clear, meaning when the job's finished, and maybe it's because none of the jobs were done properly, but they've got some obstacles. So the air sampling, I'm a little scared of right now. So I'm sticking to the surface stuff because it's, as new as all of that is, it's got more of a history. So I'm reluctant to get into pulling air samples, just let it. And to let you know where I'm at as far as clientele, well, I take the call every day now. So I do 500 jobs a year. It seems like as time has gone on, there's more education on the internet, whether it be accurate or not. People are calling me, a little bit more astute to being open to these things. And the conversations that I've had this week, I've had, 3 or 4 clients this week in this lane. When I explain how, that the actino and endos and mold and mycotoxins can all swarm together and create a synergistic effect in an area of the house or, in the house period. And then we resolve the mold problem and don't get all of it. And then you still struggle being in the house. And I mean, to a person, I've had at least 3 or 4 this week just look at me and say, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
it all make sense.
I wrote a course it's called Navigating Mold and SIRS, Expert Insights for Practitioners with a colleague. We just finished launching it and teaching it for 3 months to help practitioners recognize number one, how do patients present? Because people with mold present so differently, and you can have the same people in the house present totally differently and being exposed to water damage, but also to teach them, a little bit about what an inspector does, what's the remediation process, how do you test the body and how do you detox the body safely? And there's Shoemaker didn't work for me. I love Dr. Shoemaker's labs and his info, but that there's different options out there for people and how they can detox. So practitioners know they have choices and you don't have to stick 100% say to a Shoemaker protocol, but you can bring in other information on like using food to detox the body, which a lot of people don't talk about. But the area of inspection is hard. You're playing detective, and I think I have the easier job having to go into a house and play detective. Our house had supposedly building material mold, and I'm in the desert in Arizona in the low desert in a new build, and our levels of like on the ERMI, the Hertz Me Too was an 8, and our Stacky was a 14, which nobody liked to see, and I was totally new in the mold world, but I was able to heal in my house. And we did do some things to bring down the background molds and but never, right, no active leak, nothing like that, right? Just probably building material where the house was framed in rainy season or some of the building materials, what the environmental engineer and inspectors thought. But I think you have the harder job trying to find